Hi, my name's Phil. I'd like to talk about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss the news of the latest round of water company executive bonuses being paid out. Thames Water, the company most famously going to the wall, it somehow managed to double bonuses for executives. Severn Trent, which was fined £2 million for what was considered reckless pollution, still thought it was a good idea to pay out a bonus of well over £3 million, and for what? A job well done. But this isn't particularly newsworthy anymore. The new legislation can't come soon enough to deal with the worst of these obscenities. What really got me was the way that Water UK, it's the group that speaks for the industry, justified the bonuses. It shows that they just fundamentally don't understand what the problem is and why it is that Labour are having to pass these laws in order to deal with it. But first, for daily political commentary, please click the subscribe button so you don't miss out. So the news of not just large bonuses being paid out, but increased bonuses being paid out when sewage discharges are at record levels, that's what will enrage most people. It's not just being paid for failure. It's being paid for destroying our lands. Normally, we find that the funding for people who attack our country from within tends to originate from the Kremlin, directly or indirectly. In this case, we're paying for this assault on ourselves. But that's not what particularly stuck out for me. It was at the end of the article that I was reading on this, where Water UK responded. Now, this is the group that speaks on behalf of the water industry. So you would think they would employ people who know how to calm ruffled feathers, PR experts. They said that almost all of the bonuses were paid by shareholders, not customers. Now, putting aside for one moment the fact that, hang on a minute, aren't shareholders ultimately paid by the customers? This response just doesn't get it, does it? They're trying to justify the bonuses by suggesting, well, you're not actually paying for them. It's like, no, that doesn't matter. We can put the money aside. In reality, although anyone struggling to make ends meet is conscious of every expenditure, most people don't really think about their water bill as a notable expense. Compared to everything else, it's relatively small. The reason people are unhappy is not because of their water bill. It's the fact that the service is not being delivered. The public want water company bosses to make sure they treat sewage. That is part of their job, a really important part. Not dump it in our waters, destroying natural habitats, spoiling areas of natural beauty. They don't care that the accounts have been erased to go, oh, you're not paid for it. They don't want these people being paid large sums of money in order to despoil the land, no matter where the money comes from. They don't want these executives being paid millions for polluting some areas so badly that people become seriously ill. It's ruining things for water sports athletes. It's been a source of national shame when people have visited this country to take part in international events only to become seriously ill. Why? Because they ran through a bit of water for a bit. We don't want these executives being financially rewarded for embarrassing the country, no matter where the money came from. That a public relations group actually came out with this statement beggars belief. I know I've said Labour comms are bad, but bloody hell. They also had the nerve to say that all companies recognise the need to, amongst other things, end sewage entering our rivers. They clearly don't, because the people who run those companies are being given millions of pounds despite flooding our rivers and coastline with raw sewage. And that's me being charitable, because I could actually say that they are being paid millions, not despite of it, but in order to dump raw sewage. Because consider why the dumping is occurring. It's not because the executives in charge can't be asked to deal with it. We haven't suddenly, over the last 6 or so years, got a load of lazy executives in. It's no great effort on their part to do so. They simply have to order that every genuine effort is taken to treat it. There, it's done. That's their job done. It's finished. Not a problem. The reason they're dumping is because it works out cheaper to dump raw sewage and then pay the fine when they get found out than it is to treat it. And although I'm not going to say I understand the structure of their bonuses, I am going to suggest that if a company can be fined £2 million for reckless pollution and the chief executive responsible still gets an increase in their bonus worth millions, the executives aren't all that bothered about the fines. If water companies cared about the pollution they cause, they would structure their bonuses to cover quality of service, not pure financial returns. Not only was everything in this PR statement missing the point, you could almost imagine they chose the words deliberately to wind the public up. Certainly wound me up. They can probably think themselves lucky that most of the public won't actually read this statement. The water special measures bill that's in the early stages of passing through Parliament, that is designed to force water companies to prioritise efforts to reduce untreated sewage discharges and block bonuses where progress isn't considered good enough. If they don't, bonuses will be withheld. There's also provision for criminal offences if the responsible executives don't meet their duties. That's in line with the manifesto. The punishments not only they don't include incarceration in a rat-infested, urine-soaked pit. But then, to be fair, the manifesto didn't suggest it would. But it does include fines and the possibility of imprisonment if executives just continue to still willfully not get it. Hopefully, this will wake the industry up. Like I say, legislation, it's in the very early stages. I don't know when it's expected to become law, but I do note in the bill, it talks about executives having to put together plans by April the 1st of each year. So it would be good to think it can be passed in plenty of time to be implemented from next April, but I don't know that. Because it's really clear that no amount of belly aching from government is going to make water companies behave themselves. Tory Prime Ministers did that, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss for a little bit, and then Rishi Sunak all went, oh, water companies, can you stop dumping so much? Oh, we'll try, Prime Minister, we'll try. Didn't really try, did they? It's record dumping. So yeah, it's quite clear the industry doesn't really get it. It's not really interesting. They're only going to have to be forced to get it. You know, their own public statement makes clear that they just do not understand what the public's problem with them is. So we'll see if they change their tune when their wallets are being hit. Hopefully it won't actually need to come to more serious punishments. Don't need to send executives to prison. We just need them to wake up. But the sooner action is taken, the sooner we can start to look like a developed nation again, which would be nice. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. If you'd like to support the channel further, you can click the join button for memberships. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.